Okay, so once you have completed your planning and you have kind of figured out some of your main ideas and the smaller details that you want to kind of incorporate into your paper and that'll help support those body paragraphs and stuff like that, and your kind of your overall statement for the paper and what you're trying to get the reader to understand. Our next step would be to kind of set goals for ourselves. I think it's good as writers to set goals, just to kind of keep yourself disciplined and keep yourself engaged, making sure that you're staying on topic, organization, things like that. So when you're thinking of these goals, I think it's important to understand where your weaknesses are as a writer and where you struggle. It's very important that you understand, while thinking of these goals, what is going to make your paper a lot better, what's going to make it stand out and kind of make it pop. So I think a very important goal for people to have when writing papers is making sure that they stay on topic. It's very easy to get carried away, especially when you're writing about a paper through someone's emotions and how someone felt at the time. It's easy to kind of add in sentences that are runoffs and aren't really focused on the main idea and what we're trying to really get to with this paper. So go ahead and put staying on topic as our first goal. And when staying on topic, it's important to think of your thesis statement. So your thesis statement obviously is very important. It kind of states what your whole paper is going to be about. It states your claim almost. So when you're thinking of staying on topic, making sure that your paper is still relating back to your thesis and making sure that everything's lining up and everything's correlating well, that's very important to make sure that you're doing those things. I'll go ahead and write that down. Thesis. Another big goal that writers need to set for themselves is organization. And by organization, I mean just making sure that all punctuations are right, and not even necessarily just the commas and stuff like that, but the end punctuations are very important. I see a lot of young writers that struggle with not knowing when to put a question mark in areas that they should be placed. That's very important. It's kind of just more of like a professionalism thing, making sure that everything is right. There's no grammatical errors. If you set these goals for yourself and you work towards these goals as you're writing your paper, I think this is what will help young writers who are inexperienced kind of stay on track in understanding the purpose of their paper and what they're trying to get the reader to understand. Some people struggle with being able to write papers that are longer, so a 15-page paper might be a lot harder for younger writers. So if that's the goal, you can go ahead and write down that your goal is to meet the criteria that's asked for this paper, and being able to write it long enough and actually get the right word count. Doing that, you can write down on your goals that you want to add more detail to your papers and kind of thicken it a little bit more within the body paragraphs. I mean, these are all good goals that students could use to help themselves better their papers and sound a lot better throughout their papers. Another big goal is using more mature vocabulary and trying to use vocabulary that's related to the topic, things like that. But setting these goals is very important. It's definitely going to make young students' papers a lot more detailed, a lot more engaging to the reader. So setting goals is definitely important.